Hello, today we're going to go over our taste test that we just did for dairy-free ranch salad dressing. We're super excited because we've been wanting to do this for a while. We know how much people really love ranch dressing. So what I did was I looked at 4 different recipes from Mark Sisson's Primal Kitchen Cookbook. We're actually using his mayonnaise, Nom Nom Paleo, Daniel Walker's Against All Grains, and the Real Food Dietitians. And most of these recipes, actually 3, called for fresh herbs. And with ranch dressing, using fresh herbs really definitely does add a lot. So if you did have fresh on hand, this would be wonderful. However, we also know that a lot of people, especially if you're scrambling or you might not necessarily have those fresh herbs laying around, I wanted to adapt it to dried herbs. So that's what our recipe, our go-to recipe is going to be based on the dried. And with that being said, when you were looking at recipes and you're kind of wondering, how to tweak it, what if they call for fresh herbs and you don't have fresh herbs? Well, the general ratio is per every tablespoon of fresh, you would want to use 1 teaspoon of dried. That's just an overall general rule. Also, if you saw 1 clove of minced garlic, you didn't have garlic on hand, that equates to about 1/2 teaspoon of the garlic powder. So those are just some general rules: 1 tablespoon fresh to 1 teaspoon dried, and then to 1 clove of garlic, 1/2 teaspoon of the garlic powder. So just some nice ratios to kind of, if you are adapting recipes to whatever you have on hand, et cetera, et cetera. So our dairy-free ranch, again, we are using, I'm going to go through and give you the whole recipe at first, and then I'm going to tell you kind of how to tweak it, because people did like, they ended up liking the Daniel Walker's recipe the most, but they also really like Nom Nom's. And then for Primal Kitchen's recipe, what they liked about that might be really good for kids because it had a more delicate flavor, not so much going on. So maybe for kids or something. But anyway, I'm going to give you our regular, what we came up with as our taste test here that everyone absolutely loved. So this is our dairy-free ranch. It starts with 1/2 cup of the avocado mayonnaise, 1/4 cup of the coconut milk. And when you open up the can, it has the coconut cream and also liquid part. I did 1/2 and 1/2. So I did 1/2 of the cream and 1/2 of the liquid. You can certainly change that up. If you wanted it thicker for a dip, I would definitely go with using 1/4 cup of the coconut cream, but I did 1/2 and 1/2, and I think our texture came out really, really nice. So then we had 2 teaspoons of fresh lemon juice. We needed 2 teaspoons of dried parsley, or 2 tablespoons fresh, 1 teaspoon of dried chives, or 1 tablespoon fresh chopped, and then 1 teaspoon of dried dill, or 1 tablespoon of chopped fresh dill. We used 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, which equates to 1 clove of fresh, and then 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder. We also used 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and that was the general basic recipe. And what's super simple, you simply put everything in a bowl. I did use a fork to whisk it all together because of that coconut cream. I think the fork just really broke that up and made everything come together. So anyway, I hope you try it. I hope you like it. If you do like it, let us know what your comments are. If there is another way that you tweaked it that you find, definitely let us know. We always love to see your comments. And anyway, dairy-free ranch dressing, and I hope you enjoy.